Darius joins me now at our NPR West studios. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
So you've walked a lot of roads in music, and start me out on the first one. When did you first know that you wanted to be a musician?
Oh, when I was 4. I was 4, and when I was 4, all I would say was I was going to be a singer when I grew up. I was going to be Al Green. That was it for me as a kid. I just wanted to be a singer, and I got a little older, and you really, realize you have to have a real job and all that stuff. So I went to school for broadcast journalism, and just happened to meet the guys in my band in college.
Broadcast journalism, that's not a real job.
True.
But, yeah, so you met your band in college, and you guys expected that you could make a living. And oddly enough, you did better than that.
Yeah, all we wanted to do was make music as long as we wanted to. As long as we could be a band, as long as we wanted to, and play the music we wanted to play, we were fine with that. And even when before we got our record deal, we were playing 300 dates a year, just playing the same clubs and doing pretty good for ourselves financially. And we weren't even really worried about a record deal. Didn't think we were gonna get one or anything. And then we signed the Atlantic, and everything took off.
Sometimes you're crazy, and you wonder why. I'm such a baby, 'cause the dolphins make me cry. But there's nothing I can do. I've been looking for a girl like you.
How would you describe, songs like Only Want to Be With You? Even people who may not know who did the song will still be able to have all your lyrics in the back of their head and be like, oh, yeah, I know that song. So that's when you've reached this complete cultural density where you've sort of oozed into the, the cultural limestone, But how would you describe Hootie and the Blowfish's music?
We were just a club band. We were just this band, this bar band, bunch of guys who just, we played 3 chords and out. That's what we were, and we were a bar band that got really, really lucky. We got a record deal, and the timing was such that the world was just ready for a band like Hootie the Blowfish. And we came out, and everything went crazy, and we had to sit back and just laugh, and go, "What's going on, man? We're just a bar band from South Carolina. What's happening?"
So you're in Hootie and the Blowfish. You have any number of talents and interests musically. Country was not your first path, was it? You did R&B?
Yeah,
as well.
I did an R&B record.
Yeah. Tell me about doing that project.
R&B is like country music's big for me. R&B was really, Al Green was my first memory of music, is Al Green, and making that record I made, it was just one of those. Hootie was taking a little break. We were taking a year off, and it was just something to do. That was that record I always just wanted to make an R&B record to see if I could. And it was a labor of love, and I loved it, and it was a great time. And God, it seems like 20 years ago now, and it was just like 2000, I think. But that was a lot of fun. I love that record too. I'm really proud of that record.
This one, Learn to Live, is doing so well commercially. Your R&B record did not find quite the same home. Why do you think that's the case?
I remember them playing my single, which I thought was just an R&B song, and somebody used the word alternative on R&B radio, and I think it was just a stigma of where I came from. It was the song. I don't think the songs were any different than, or any alternative. It was R&B music. It's just that I came from Hootie and the Blowfish, and nobody wanted to hear that from me. And I was cool with that. I made the record I wanted to make, and I'm happy with it. But I don't think that record I think I got slept on a lot, but that's okay.
Now I understand, got a phone call from Maya Angelou. I don't know anything about it, but I was told to ask about it by my producer, Devin. So there must be something there. What's the story?
I was listening to, Maya Angelou on the radio, on a radio show once, and she was talking about her love for country music. And one thing she had said that I agree with so much is she said she was disappointed at how music is so segregated. Like, people will say without ever hearing a country song, I hate country music, and you've never heard a song. And we just talked about, I thought that was, I agreed with her so much, and so I just sent a CD to her, and she loved it, and she called and wanted me to be on her show, and she's a delight to talk to, and the things she says and the way she says it is just, it's out of this world. The way she talks, I don't speak English. Maya Angelou does, it's just hearing the things she says is just wonderful. She's a wonderful human being, and I was so happy she was a fan of my record.
You also are friends with Tiger Woods and shared what must have been an incredibly poignant moment of being there and singing while he was laid to rest. How did you get to know each other?
Tiger was 18, and it was right before he went to Stanford, and we were still playing out a group of clubs before we started this big tour, and we were playing in Michigan at East Lansing, and we finished our show, and I went around the corner, and I saw this guy sitting at the table with a bunch of his friends that I kind of recognized but didn't really know who he was. He was only 18 at the time, and I went over and I said, "Man, what do I know you from?" He's like, "Well, I'm Tiger Woods," and I said, and since that moment, we've been pretty good friends.
That's cool. What do you love at this stage in your life about not music itself, but being a working musician, and what do you hate about it?
Oh, hate is the easier part. I hate being away from my kids and my family. That's really tough to be gone as much as I am. And my wife pointed out to me very eloquently the other day that I haven't been home more than 3 days. I haven't been home 3 days in a row since March. And
Wow.
That's crazy. And that's the worst part. I love getting up and singing. When you're up on stage and you're singing in front of somebody and you see that person singing back or just really, loving what you're doing, that's when I really realize why I do what I do. Yeah, I mean, I love to play live for people, and I love to see people, enjoy themselves and enjoy music. And it's when it's my music, it's even better.
One thing we've done on our show is talk about the ways in which people reach audiences they couldn't even envision. A lot of your life you've spent in front of audiences where there probably aren't that many black people.
Oh yeah.
So what's that like?
It's something that I think I've really gotten used to it over the years. But back when we really started taking off, it would be really strange to walk into a room of 20,000 people and you were the only African American person in the room. I mean, that happened a lot, and it's one of the things where I really had to come to grips with it. I mean, I chose this life, I chose this job, this is what I wanted to do, and it's just now it's just no big deal. It's just the way it is. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, I love my job, and I'm not going to change my job, so that just comes with the territory.
Have you ever had a moment? There's so many what I call racial sharing moments going on right now, and we take them seriously, but we can also laugh at them. But sometimes, have you ever felt that people ask you to be their guide into some greater understanding of blackness?
Oh, absolutely. I've been playing Hootie the Blowfish for 23 years, and we've been doing it. And I think a lot of my friends used me as like you said, as a vehicle to the experience. And I know a lot of people that probably when they met me were pretty racist people that are now really good friends of mine. And like a friend of mine, he was from King, North Carolina, and he grew up pretty racist, and we started hanging out with me. We became good friends. And I remember 4 or 5 years ago, he goes home for Thanksgiving, and it starts at the table, and he gets up and walks out of the house. And his family is freaking out. It's like when Ricky was like, I can't. This is my brother. This guy I love to death, and to hear you guys talk about people like that, it's just and that's the kind of things that happens for me. And I don't mind if when things like that happen, I feel like that's a good thing. Mm-hmm.
What do you think is going to happen to art as we go through these tough times?
Oh, I think art will survive. I mean, I think you see it with really well-made movies and music. During these times, movies and music doesn't seem to suffer that much because people. I don't know. I might not be able to eat or whatever, but I gotta buy that CD. Because music gets you through all this stuff.
And where are you headed next? I mean, in terms of creatively, are you going to go back and make another country album? I mean, what do you think, besides touring, which I know you are?
Yeah. I'm going to tour, and then I'm gonna make country records back to back for a while until country radio doesn't want me anymore, or I got my own theater in Branson. One of the two.
Goodness. Sounds like you got plenty of options.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Darius, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. This was awesome.